mystery, so welcome back to my channel. Feels really weird being back to filming, to be honest. And you can probably hear I'm still a little bit sick, so I'm sorry about that. But I really wanted to film this video and get it up for you on Sunday, which should be today. Crossing my fingers and yours. Also, I really actually meant to film this video earlier because today's gonna be a book review, and I read this book like over a week ago now, and I meant to film it right after so that everything would be still fresh in my mind, and now it feels like an eternity has passed since then, so hopefully I can still get my thoughts across coherently, because this is one book that I really recommend that you read, and I really want to do a good job like representing it in the way that I actually feel about it. So anyway, enough of this preamble, let's get into the video. So today I'm going to be doing a book review of The 7 Deaths of EVELYN Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This is a new release that came out early February, and I had been anticipating it because I heard the synopsis once and I was like, oh, this sounds so cool, and oh my god, did it live up to it. Holy shit. I had the best time reading it, and now let me tell you why I think that you should try it too. So this book is set in probably the 1920s, 30s or something like that, and the main stage is a party that the Lord and Lady Hardcastle are giving at their estate. In the book we follow a man called Aidan who is tasked with solving the murder of EVELYN Hardcastle, who dies at the end of the night. The twist is that he gets to relive the day 8 times, and every single day he slips into the body of a different party guest to get to experience the day from their perspective and hopefully gain some new insights and new clues as to who murders the daughter of the house. So at its essence, it definitely is kind of like a bit more of a standard murder mystery in the vein of maybe Agatha Christie, who the author has said himself he really admired and he really wanted to like model the book after, like her style. At the same time, because of these unique parameters of like him getting to relive the day, getting to experience it from different perspectives, like that adds such a new twist to it, which is super fantastic and like makes the book really intricate and like really fascinating to read. On top of that, we have the added mystery of why Aidan even is there in the first place, and like what his purpose is and what brought him there, and like the whole situation. So there's just like so much to this novel. It's really hard to explain. I hope I'm doing a semi-decent job of doing it, but I really recommend, if you're a fan of like mysteries, just go into this book blind. Like just pick it up and read it, because it's a journey that you do not want to miss out on. I definitely recommend trying to read this book fairly quickly, because there is so much to it. There's so much information that our main character learns every single day that he has to keep in his mind like at the same time, and I feel like if you were to take a break in between reading, you might forget some really vital points. And I feel like this book is just such an experience in itself that it is best to live it start to finish in a fairly brief amount of time. One aspect I really loved about the book is that it allows the reader to kind of guess alongside the main character, because we're given the exact same clues that he is given. We're experiencing everything the same way that he is experiencing it, and it makes you feel like you actually have a shot at figuring out who did it and how they did it and whatever, the same way that he does. And I really love that aspect of it, because it just makes you more involved. It's not something that's like, oh, behind the scenes he just like had a revelation and that's how he figured out what's happening. Like, there are actual clues that you can pick up on. I honestly didn't pick up on many of those clues, or at least I didn't realize what they meant. So while I did have a shot at sort of solving the crime myself, it's definitely far enough out of reach and far enough like not cookie cutter standard whatever that I wasn't able to do it, and that the mystery and the suspense were still preserved even for me until the very end, when the big reveal happens, and I was like, holy shit, I did not see that coming. It blew my mind. It was fantastic. It ticked like all my boxes, you know, in terms of like engagement, involvement. I cared about it, what was happening. I felt like I was there. I was like literally glued to the pages. Wow. I love being sick. I was literally glued to the pages throughout this novel. I read it in such a short amount of time, even though it's fairly long. It's like 500 pages or so. It just did a really, really good job, I think, of being a mystery novel that touches on some traditional, like, nostalgic elements that people love from, like, classic mysteries, but still put it together in a way that plays to our, like, today's sensibilities, where people are a lot more jaded, I guess, and a lot more just, like, aware of the standard, I don't know, crime tricks and the standard, like, things and mysteries and thrillers and things like that. So I just love that this is, like, basically a classic mystery novel for modern audiences that still works, that's still suspenseful and amazing in its entirety. One thing I will add is that the book definitely is a little bit on the confusing side, especially in the beginning when you're just getting a hang of things and you're just like, what is going on? And there's so many, like, things set up where you constantly think, like, how is this ever gonna be tied, like, in at the end? How is this ever gonna be resolved? How is this ever going to be made to matter and to work in conjunction with everything else? So it definitely was a little bit skeptical, and I think in the hands of a less talented and less smart author, this book could have been a shit show, a complete disaster. But as I found out after reading, the author put a lot of time into putting together this book. He said it was like 10 years in the making. This, by the way, is his debut novel, so my god, like, all of the hats tipped to Stuart Turton for putting together such a fantastic book at the first try. I mean, honestly, just fantastic. But I definitely started off being a little bit skeptical and a little bit apprehensive of, like, this is either gonna be really good or really bad, and fortunately it turned out really good. So I definitely think that if you're in that same kind of situation towards the beginning of the novel, I recommend pushing through and just maybe trusting me that it definitely turns out well in the end. Overall, this is definitely a novel with a high rereading factor, because I even, like, literally after putting it down, I was like, I need to reread it now because I wanna go back and like, knowing the ending, re-experience it, see those clues for myself for what they actually were, and just experience it all again. So honestly, I cannot recommend this book more highly. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was fantastic. I cannot wait to read more by Stuart Turton, because if this is what his debut novel is like, I don't even want to, like, I can't even imagine what other works by him could potentially turn out to be. So if this book does sound interesting to you, and if you're a fan of the classic mystery novel, like locked room murder situation, I highly recommend checking this book out. Even if it only marginally interests you, I recommend giving it a go because it's fantastic. It is so smart, so suspenseful, wonderful, and I think already one of my favorite books of 2018. And that's it for my review of The 7 Deaths of EVELYN HARDCASTLE by Stuart Turton. I hope I did the book justice. Honestly, right now I'm not actually in the best headspace to be filming. I'm not feeling the flow as I sometimes do, but I hope I still did a decent enough job to convince you to pick up this book, because holy shit, I really wish I could experience it again for the very first time in all of its amazingness. If it does sound interesting to you, please let me know if you're going to be getting it yourself, and if you've already read it, leave your opinion in the comments down below as always. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I upload every Tuesday and Friday unless things don't turn out like they should. And I will see you then with another video. Have a lovely week. Bye!